Alright, so I'm gonna go off the cuff on this because frankly I don't want to make this into a bigger deal than it already is. So please forgive me if there's going to be some pauses and stumbling. I really don't want to do too much editing on this because frankly, ugh. This will mostly be talking about a twitlonger I posted last night in regards to the situation that you may or may not have heard. I didn't want to go public, but due to the fact that people are making some claims on me and that there's some misinformation going on about there, I need to address it. Know that I did not want to make this public, but as I've seen, there is some confusion on the matter, and I need to do this because I have no choice. So as you no doubt are probably aware, recently there's been a commentary on me by the bunch of pseudo-intellectuals group done by Digital Ty, Doodle Tones, and Master TP10. And recently I've gotten some, let's just say, flack. I do have a twitlonger that goes into more detail into it, and it'll be linked in the description of this video, but I had to put it out here, so there's that. First and foremost, I have to say no. I am not claiming that the messages that I've been getting in the last day or so are from the fans of BoP, Doodle Tones, Master TP10, or Ty. Me claiming that would be irresponsible and impossible for me to know. Have I received more colorful than I would like comments and emails? Yes, I have. Quite a few in the last day or so, starting up from when they posted their commentary. Are they from the fans of the people who commentated on me? I have no clue. And I have not made any claims saying that BoP is responsible for them. You can ask Hobbs and Boonslayer about this, Hobbs being Youngblood Fantasy 91, who I have talked in length on this situation. While I do have personal issues with the BoP commentary, I do not, and let me repeat it, I do not claim any hate that I have gotten is directly from their fanbase. If I could speculate, I'd say it'd be more about the Poketubers that I originally covered all that time ago, but once again, I have no proof on that. Let me be perfectly clear, when I get comments and emails like this, they do not bother me. I got used to them when MatPats fans decided to get on my case for going against their Lord and Savior, so whoever is sending these things to me is nothing compared to that. I look, I delete, I block. If it's anything like that, that's what I do. The only reason why I brought this up, privately mind you, on Skype conversations, was because it was odd for me to receive 20 plus colorful emails and messages as soon as the BoPcom went up, if I'm looking at the timelines correctly. I had no intention of letting this get out to the public, but since there are people who are bringing up this private matter to public eye and making some claims that I did not make, I have to talk about this. So as you no doubt have heard, there's something going on about talking about disclaimers. And once again, you can ask Youngblood Fantasy 91 and Boonslayer about this, and even Scarred Otaku, who made her own video on the subject matter, and after talking to her, put up a disclaimer, ironically talking about it. On Skype, I have been in a few groups talking about that I did want there to be a disclaimer for the BoP commentary, but it was not for people to harass me on the matter. No. What I wanted was the trio... Let me say that again. The trio had no idea what they would be doing, would open up an old wound and possibly childish people to spam me comments and emails that were less than flattering. Rather, the disclaimer that I wanted was for a different issue. It was for them to say that the commentary they were doing is 6 months old, and does not necessarily represent the current quality of my newer content. Whether or not you agree is subjective, and I have no interest in debating that at the moment, since that's neither here nor there about this particular video. I will say that Ty has actually agreed with this subject on Twitter, and you can read that in the link below. That being said, I am not demanding anything from them. While I would like them to put a disclaimer in their comments or their description, I have not demanded it of them. I have not once asked them to do it, nor will I ask them. Until last night, I did not comment on their video until I noticed that they put a little disclaimer afterwards. I never messaged them, on Twitter, on YouTube, on Skype, asking them. I did not do any of that. I do not know where people are getting the fact that I am demanding this of them. The commentary itself, in all honesty, it doesn't matter to this situation. It's out, it's public, and I don't really want to give my opinion on the matter because, once again, it doesn't matter in this situation. So, my final thoughts. Look, this whole debacle was a mess from the start. I don't want to say that I agree with everything that was in the comm. Seriously, the YouTube fault jokes were getting really old really quick, in my opinion. But I'm not going to say that the trio weren't allowed to make the video. If anything, I just wanted to let them know that I was getting a ton of hate, and while they have changed the description saying that, and I appreciate that, that doesn't mean that I didn't get the hate from the that doesn't mean that I got the hate from the commentary, sorry. But when you get about 20 plus hateful stuff within the first few hours of that commentary going up, you can't help but assume the worst. But once again, I never claimed that the hate was their fault. I never demanded them to put a disclaimer. The only one who I asked to put a disclaimer was Scar Otaku, since she had gotten misinformation of the subject from second-hand information, and I didn't want that information to be going out there because looking at the comments, people were getting the wrong impression on what I was saying and what I did not say. And should go without saying, but I have no intention of making this drama any bigger than it is right now. It wasn't even supposed to get out, and I never thought it'd go to the public light until now, as I kept it purely on Skype. I never put anything on Twitter, I never put anything on YouTube, I just talked to people about this. And until last night, I never put a comment on the BoP commentary, and I never left a comment on Twitter until I made my twit longer. And I never wanted this to get out of hand. My hands have been tied in this situation, and I had no choice but to speak up on the matter now. And I'm only doing this video because I know not everyone follows me on Twitter. With that said, I'm MangaKamen, and remember, just respect other people, please.